So tell me about this new cousin by marriage I have. Is she really someone I should worry about?
I first met Rebecca at my grandfather's funeral when I was 3. I don't really remember that event, except how cold and judgmental my grandmother looked when she was with me and my mother. I was too young to understand at the time, but I later learned that most of my relatives were Christians and my mother becoming atheist and marrying my father was considered a betrayal of the rest of the family. Rebecca and I met again at my 18th birthday party at the Tuscany Tavern, and she made such an ass of herself there that my mother and I disowned her that night. Then she joined with Diana Kelly, the one who broke up my parents' marriage, and they caused us more trouble.
From what you are telling me, my cousin Ted must have hooked up with your cousin Rebecca just because they both hate you, your mother and Carrie. That's sick. It's like neither of them are capable of love.
And yet Ted Wilson and his father are supposed to be these super devout Christians. Ted even beat me up when I was 12 after he learned I was atheist. How can that be explained?
I have no clue what goes through the heads of my uncle and cousin Ted. I just know I don't want to be like them at all. So despite being raised a Methodist by my parents, I am now atheist too.
Why are you here? You are the last person I ever expected to show up at this prison.
I came here to see you, of course. I heard from Jason Laker about you turning against your father, who you were so loyal to in the past that you were willing to commit crimes for him. So I just want to ask you one question. Why? Why would you want to destroy your father's political career now?
I already told the reporter about my father never visiting me here. But my mother did. And the last time she was here, she showed me the interview that Rush Scumbag did with my father, the one in which he denied influencing me to try to destroy your restaurant. That completely broke me. That my father cared more about advancing his political career than about me as his son. Then my mother sent me a letter telling me my father was running for state senator. And so I decided it was time to get revenge on him.
You should have opposed your father from the very beginning. He hurt so many people in our town as mayor, including my daughter Carrie, who almost died from drinking contaminated tap water. But as long as his policies didn't affect you, then you didn't care. Typical conservative thinking, eh? Let me explain something to you. As a black person, I oppose racism. As a lesbian, I oppose bigotry against LGBT people. And as an atheist, I oppose Christian bigots influencing our governments. But I also fight for the rights of Jews, like my father, and Muslims, like my nephew Scott and his fiancée. But even people I have no connection to at all I am willing to fight for. Because those people are human, just as I am, and I act totally on principles, not selfish interests. I don't seek to discriminate against or persecute others in any way. I'd even fight for your rights if you were not a criminal.
You expect me to believe that? How can you not believe in God, but care so much for others?
Because people are real, and God is not. True morals cannot be based only on religion, because religions are not based on facts, only questionable claims.
I see. Everything I did as a cop against you I justified because I thought you were selfish, hateful people. Like me. But I was wrong. There is something else you should know. I used to be a member of your church, which was originally Southern Baptist before converting to Unitarian Universalism. My father and I were not very active in that church, but we were outraged at this radical change. So one day I broke into the Smith's house while the mother was at work and the kids were at school and smashed everything I could with a sledgehammer. Then I went to your house to repeat the process, but was stopped by a neighbor of yours watering your front lawn. Then I went there again to see Dr. Drake at the house. And finally I went there once more to see Mrs. Smith and her kids there, along with some pink-haired lady I'd never seen before. So I gave up and went home.
Wow. We never even suspected you were the vandal. We assumed Reverend Dave Owen might have done it.
No, it was all my doing. I take full responsibility for it. Mrs. Sims, I am truly sorry for my past misdeeds. And I hope someday you can forgive me for them.
George Anderson, the truth is, I've already forgiven you.